So number 1, x equals y plus 3, solve for y. What is interesting about this problem? What's different about it? 2. It's got x and a y. So draw a line. If it says solve for y, you want to circle the y. Whatever it says to solve for is what you want to circle. So we're going to circle the y. What does it mean, bless you, what does it mean to solve for something? Find it. What else? Get it what? Get it alone. Good. So what is on the side with y? So plus 3, how do I get rid of plus 3? So I'm going to minus 3 over here. Now, you can't take 3 away from x, and that's okay. These are weird, but they're not hard. They're weird. The way they're going to write the answer on the test is they're going to write y equals, they're going to put it right here, since that's what you were solving for. They're going to write y equals, because that's what you were solving for. And then they're just going to write x minus 3. It will be a multiple choice question, but this is what the answer would look like. Y equals x minus 3. So, again, it is weird. You're just moving stuff around, but you're not really doing anything but moving it. You can't do anything other than that. Okay? Number 2, w equals z minus 5. Solve for z. W equals z minus 5. Solve for z. Yes, Blake? Draw your line, and you're going to circle z. Why am I circling z? Because that's the one it said to solve for. Okay? So what is on the side with z? Negative 5. So when I move negative 5 to this side, it becomes what? Plus 5. Okay. Again, I know this is weird, but they're going to put z equals right here because that's what you were solving for, and they always put that letter on the left. And then they're going to put w plus 5 over here. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, so that's when the only thing you have is x's and numbers, and you're actually going to get like a number answer, like what we've been doing. So this, when you have multiple letters, it'll tell you, it'll have to have this part too. So you'll see multiple letters, and then it'll tell you what to solve for, and that's when you're kind of just moving stuff away from it. Okay, so it's different. All right? Raise your hand if you have other questions. Okay. Stephen, you're good. You don't need to write this down. You can just go to the next one. All right, number 3, solve for t. D equals RT. D equals RT. So I'm going to draw my line. Ashley, see, what am I circling? T. Okay. Guys, what needs to move away from T? R. And these are being multiplied, right? These are being multiplied. What's the opposite of multiplying something? Dividing. So I'm going to draw the divide line. What letter do you think I write underneath it? R, because that's what you're moving. Okay? So again, you don't have to do this step, but you do have to know on the test, it's going to be T equals D over R. That's what the answer will look like on the test. T equals D over R. All right. Number 4. Blake, that's your last warning. No more talking. Energy and mass are related by the formula E equals mc squared. M is the mass of the object. C is the speed of light. Which equation finds M given E and C? All right. So out of all of this, Tyler, what's important out of this whole problem? Something that's important out of that whole problem. Good. E equals mc squared. So that's what you should write on your paper right now. E equals mc squared. That's the part that you should write down. That's what's important. The rest of that is just extra information you don't need. Okay? All right, Summer, what letter does it want you to get by itself? All right, so look at your answer choices. What letter does it want you to get by itself? What letter is by itself? M. And this says, which equation finds M? So they want M by itself. So I'm going to circle M and draw my line. Mateen, what's happening right here? What are these two doing right now? And Abby, what's the opposite of multiplying? So Abby, what do I write underneath this? What do I write underneath the E? Good. Blake, is it A, B, C, or D? Good. E has to be on top, and C squared has to be on the bottom. Order matters for division. Order matters. Okay. All right, number 5, solve for x. Y equals xz cubed. Y equals xz cubed. All right, Odin, what am I circling? And Molly, what's happening with x and z squared? Z cubed? Ashley, see what's opposite of multiplying? And Ashley, see what do I write underneath the y? What letter? To the third. Yep. Okay. Can anybody tell me how it'll look on the test? What will it say? Good. And it can have a diagonal or a straight across. That doesn't matter. Okay, number 6. Good. Let's do that one. P equals F over A. Y divided by Z to the third. Number 6. P equals F over A. You need to raise your hand. Tyler, what do I do first? Circle what? What did you say? Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. Okay. Caitlin, what needs to move away from F? And what does this mean, Caitlin? So what's the opposite of divide? So I'm going to multiply by A. So this one you could have lots of answers. You could have F equals AP. What else could you have? F equals, because multiplying doesn't matter what order it's in. Because what's 2 times 5? What's 5 times 2? 10. So order doesn't matter for multiplying. Okay. All right. Number 7. All right, we're going to add one more step. Solve for x. AX plus B equals C. We're going to add one more step to the solve for x. AX plus B equals C. All right, Devin, what do I want you to do first? Okay, here's how I think about these. A and X are best friends. A and X are tight. They're best friends, okay? B is not their friend. He's just hanging out over here. I don't know what he's doing. All right, but he's not a best friend. A and X are best friends. Who would you pick to move first if you had your choice? Would you pick your best friend to move away or some guy who's just hanging out staring at y'all? Which one would you want to move away? Some guy that's just staring at you, all right? So this right here, this guy, he needs to move first. We need to get rid of him. So what's the opposite of adding B? So please write it on the same, write it on the same line. C minus B. So the opposite of adding B is minus and B, okay? Now, I don't want to, but I'm going to have to, all right? I have no other choice. Now I have to split up the best friends. But I waited as long as I could, but now I have to split them up. What's the opposite of multiplying? Dividing. So you draw a line under all of it. Draw a line under all of it. And what letter am I putting under it? A. Okay. Fix that, please. All right. So you need to draw a line under all of it. And you're dividing by A. Okay. All right. Number 8. K equals MB minus A. K equals MB minus A. Solve for B. All right. Destiny, what do I want you to do first? All right, Ashley B, who's best friends with B? M. M and B are best friends. Steven, which letter should I move first, the M or the A? Good, because this one's not best friends, all right? Stephen, how do you get rid of minus A? What's the opposite of minus an A? So I'm going to put K plus A over here. All right, so I'm just dropping that down. K plus A. All right, Nadia, there's still one more letter that has to move. What letter is that? And how do you get rid of the M? Good. All right, so K plus A over M. I'm not going to make you rewrite it again. What would the test put in front of it? Good. B equals is what the test would have in front of it. B equals. Okay. All right, number 9, solve for G. T equals mg plus F. And Summer, what do you do first? Nadia, what letter is going to move away from G? Sorry, which one's going to move first? What did you say? M and G are best friends. So F is going to move first. Okay? Stephen, how do I get rid of plus F? What do I write over here? So T minus F. And Devin, what letter still needs to move? How do you move it? Anybody, what letter are they going to put out front? Good. It has to be T minus F. Subtraction, the order matters because, for instance, what's 5 minus 3? 2. What's 3 minus 5? -2. So subtraction, it matters. So whatever's, what letters here goes in front, and then whatever one you're moving goes behind it. Okay? All right. Number 10, solve for Y. B equals A parentheses Y. I'm sorry. B equals A parentheses X plus Y. Don't start this one yet. You can write it down, but don't start it yet. Give people a minute to write it down. All right, what letter am I circling? Y. Okay, on this particular problem, who do you think is best friends with Y? X. X. Look, they're at each other's house. They're hanging out, chilling. X plus Y, they're at each other's house, so they're best friends. X and Y are best friends, okay? So which letter is not the best friend? So A moves first on this one. A moves first. So parentheses mean to multiply. So what's the opposite of multiplying? So the first thing you're going to do is divide by A. And kind of think of it like a fraction. B divided by A. Kind of think of it like 1/2 or 2/5. All right? So B over A. All right. Let's see. Blake, what letter? We moved the A. What letter do we have to move next, Blake? The X. Okay? Caitlin, how do you get rid of plus X? And you minus it. So guys, you're going to just minus X out to the side. You don't minus it on top. You don't minus it on the bottom. You just do it out to the side. Minus X. Okay? So on the test, it's going to be Y equals B over A minus X. It's going to be written exactly like that. B over A minus X. Blake, that's a minute after. You got to raise your hand. All right, number 11. Write it down. X parentheses Y plus 7 equals 20. All right, Odin, what letter do I want you to circle? Molly, what letter's going to move first to the other side? Very good. And how do you get rid of it? You divide it because parentheses mean to multiply. Okay. Ashley B, what still needs to move? How do you move plus 7? So the answer is D. Y equals 20 over x minus 7. All right, 2 more. Number 12, Blake, read it for us. Good, thank you. All right, so guys, on this one, do you have a math equation? No, you've got to make your own. You've got to make your own. What letter do you want to use for power? P? And what do you think I do for is? Good. What do you think comes next? W for work. Then what? Divided by, so I have to put a divide symbol. T. At the very beginning for power. Okay, so let me repeat it. It says power is. Well, remember, is an equals. So for the word power, we're just using a P. For the word is, we're doing an equals. And then work is W divided by time, which is T. Now, not only do you have to do that, now which letter do you have to get by itself? W. Which equation gives W? So then you have to do, not only do you have to make the equation, now you have to get W by itself. Abby, what needs to move away from W? T. Destiny, how do you get rid of T on this one? Good. This was divide, so we're going to multiply by T. Mateen, what answer choice? A, B, C, or D? All right, last one. Number 13. Tyler, read it. Okay, what's the first thing we have to do? What's the first thing we have to do? We got to make an equation. Good, thank you. So, the number of girls in my class, we can let all of that be one letter. What letter do you want to be the number of girls in my class? What letter? G. Okay. Then I see an is. I have to, stop and pay attention to that. What do I have to do for is? Equals. Don't just skim over that. You got to put in equals. Stephen, what do I put for twice? Molly, what am I twicing? So what do you think I should put? B. And Ashley B, what comes next? What do I have to put? Minus 5. Okay. All right. Ross, what letter do they want you to get by itself? B. So I'm going to circle B. Stephen, what's best friends with B? 2. 2 and B are best friends, so we want to leave them together. Caitlin, what should move first to the other side? And it becomes what? Good. And Summer, what do I have to do next? What still needs to move? So what do I have to do? What's happening here? So I have to divide. Right? Tyler, A, B, C, or D? Okay. All right, you may have a question. All right.